Hey everyone, and welcome to the video. I hope you're all having a good day. This video is going to be me going through a coin collection that supposedly hasn't been searched through since around 1985, and I'm going to tell you the story. So first of all, I wanted to say thank you, Lynn, for sending these coins. I really appreciate it. I know you insisted that I didn't send you anything in return for them, but if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. So anyhow, Lynn sent me these coins. She commented on one of my videos telling me that she really wanted me to have them because she didn't know anyone that appreciated coins as much as I did. And I'm going to just go ahead and read you the letter that she sent me. And it says, "Dear JD, I haven't looked at these coins since about 1985. They are a gift to you because I know you will appreciate them as little as they are worth as history of our country. I also enclosed a couple of coin rolls, which I think I rolled in around 2006. Please do with them what you wish. I opened the package and saw that there were some silver dollars in there, so perhaps that is where they wound up." And what she means there, she had contacted me and let me know that in the past she thought that some of her silver dollars were stolen, but she noticed a few in this box, so she thinks that a few of them may have ended up in this box and they weren't actually stolen. And then it continued on and said, "A big hello to your parents. Thank them for who you are. It's refreshing to meet you." And my parents do keep up on my videos from time to time, so I will definitely let them know to watch this one. And stay tuned, because you're probably going to see them in some future videos, because I have a lot of different stuff coming here on the channel. And my mom really actually is kind of getting into it a little bit, and she doesn't mind being in the videos, so you're probably going to see her a little bit more. So once again, Lynn, I just wanted to say thank you very much for sending these coins and allowing me to make this video also. I know I wanted to make sure that you were okay with me showing these, and I'll make sure I'll keep your address confidential. And all I'm going to show is the box, because it was pretty funny when I went out to get my mail today. It's an old, or not old, it's a bark box. Let's see if you can see it in the light down there. Not sure if you can see that little comic down there. But anyway, it says, "No digging for a while. The vet says I have carpal tunnel syndrome." That's pretty funny. And it has two dogs in there sitting by a hole. And that actually reminds me of myself, because I dig so many holes that I just have so many different aches and pains and cramps from like 6 years of digging holes. Like the webbing between my thumb and my pointer finger is always like severely cramped. Like even on days when I'm not metal detecting, I like gotta stretch it all out. So I get a good laugh looking at the bottom of the box there. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys just the beginning here before I set up the tripod. So first of all, I threw these coins here because I found these at the coin store today. Where I moved, there's not a coin store really close. The nearest Kroger, where I usually go to the coin store, is maybe about 12 minutes from me, and I don't go there too often, but I stopped by today, and after a major drought, I did find a few coins in the Coinstar machine. 1965 quarter, 74D penny, and a 2005 dime were in the reject tray, so that was pretty cool. Nothing special there, just pocket change, but I figured I'd show them while I'm doing a coin video. I did get a few crusty pennies the last time I was there too. So anyway, over to the collection before I set up the tripod. There's a bag here that has 2 rolls of quarters, a roll of nickels, and what looks to be a roll of pennies there. And there's also a couple loose coins in there. You can see a 40% silver Kennedy $50 and actually a standing Liberty quarter. And here's the main box. And in here there's a lot of envelopes, and there's a lot of loose coins in the bottom there. You can see a Franklin half, and there's a lot of pennies in the bottom that look like copper pennies, copper memorials, and you can definitely see some silver coins in there as well. Now, these envelopes are marked, and they have a lot of different things. You can see that one says 1960 and 1960D pennies. Some of them are empty, but what I think happened is that they've been moved around, you know, these weren't all folded down, so I think the coins just slid out into the main part of the box. There's one here that, see, that says 1963D quarter. Yeah, the Franklin half, that's probably one that slid out. And you can see all these different envelopes. So I'm going to set up the tripod, and we're going to start opening up these envelopes and see what's in here. So stay tuned. So I decided to start, I'm not actually going to set up the tripod. It's going to be easier actually doing this by hand, and I'll just go through them briefly, and then I'll do a recap and lay everything out and sort through it a little more extensively. So first we're just going to go ahead and empty these out of here. And maybe I'll open the coin rolls last. There's the 2 rolls of quarters. And you can see on the end of this one is a Bicentennial Quarter with a drummer boy on it. So that may be an interesting roll with that on the end. You can see it's got some crazy toning on it from being in storage all those years. Looks like it may have been exposed to a little bit of water too. I think there's a little bit of corrosion on there as well. And on the back of this one, the exposed coin is a 1967 quarter, so it does look like these rolls are definitely have been stored away for a while. And just a Lincoln Memorial on that one. And the Nickels, let's see the back of that one. That one looks like a fairly newer one. And let's see, Standing Liberty Quarter. Oh wow, nice clear date on that one, 1926S. That's a beautiful coin right there. Couple scratches on it, but not bad. Really nice obverse. Beautiful coin there. And we have this 1968D Kennedy half dollar, 40% silver. So I'm just going to go ahead and start digging into these envelopes. The one that says 63D quarter, that is empty. 60D quarter, that envelope is empty. Okay, now this envelope has some coins in it, so that's the one that says 1960 and 60D pennies. And I'll check these for varieties and stuff like that later, because I know the 60 Ds, there's small and large dates. And looks like there's 3 60 planes. And the 60D that's in there, actually I think that one is a small date actually. I'll have to compare it later. But the 60D small date is actually a pretty desirable penny for the Lincolns. So I'll check those out later. See, next envelope, that's the one that says 52D Franklin half dollar. That envelope is empty. Next one, 64 Kennedy half dollar. That one's empty. This one says 1955 nickel, and I'm pretty sure it's in there. It's definitely heavier. Come on, there we go. It's a 1955D nickel. You can tell these coins have a little bit of a yellow tone to them, so they've definitely been stored away for a long time. Definitely notice that. Normally you don't see that kind of color on a nickel. Pretty interesting. It's almost like a kind of yellow / gold tone. It's pretty neat. Kind of like some of the old coins that have been in the Whitman albums for a long time. The part of the coin that's exposed to the air kind of gets that little bit of that yellow tint to them after many decades. Okay, this one says 1921 silver dollar, and it's not in the envelope. 1964 Kennedy half, not in the envelope. 1958D quarter, empty. 64 Kennedy half dollar, empty. Worn Indian head nickel. So I'm assuming that's going to be a buffalo nickel, and this one, it's in there, so we should be able to get that out. Alright, and there it is. It is an Indian head buffalo nickel. And I can't see the date on that one. It's got a D mint mark. It's pretty smooth on the date area there, but it's clean. So I should have no problem acid treating that coin to get the date to show. And from the strike of it, how Liberty is light there into the rim like that, this may actually be a 1913 Type 2. The strike of this coin looks very similar to the 1913s and very early strikes for the teens coins. Could be 1913, 14, 15, but if I nick a date this and that is a 1913 D, that would be a pretty good buffalo nickel. Actually, I'm almost certain that's going to be from the teens, so that's going to be a pretty good find there. See, next one we got says wheat pennies, 16 at 10 cents. That's pretty interesting. And they're still in there, so let's go ahead and look through these. Let's adjust the light here a little bit. There we go. $19.49, 49, 56D, 1958D, 1952D, 1946, 1957D, 51D, 49 with some scratches on it, 1944, 1946D, 1941, 1957D that looks like it's been cleaned on the obverse, 1945, 51D, and the last one is a 1953D. They're all in pretty good shape. Some nice wheat pennies there. These are kind of typical of the kind that I find metal detecting a lot from the 40s and 50s, and that's what they look like when they're not dug out of the ground and corroded. So definitely some nice coins there. And then we got this bag. Let's see, 56, 41, 49, 59, 62, and 57 nickels. All right. Yep, there's the 41. Once again, some of these have a little bit of that yellow tone to them. There's the 59D. Oh wow, that's a very nice 1949. Still has a little bit of luster on that one. There's the 62D. 56, probably a D. Yep, it's got the D on the back. Another 41. Plain. We got a 57D. And another 41. So those are the older ones that you like to find when you're coin roll hunting. Some nice nickels there. And let's just go ahead and grab some of these off the top before we finish some of these envelopes. Oh, and I can see it hiding under there. We'll save that one. It looks like a silver dollar under there. Let's grab a couple of these loose coins here. 1981 copper penny that looks like it's uncirculated, but it's got some of the carbon spots on it. We've got a couple silver quarters, 1962D, 1964, worn 1944. Here we go, Ben Franklin $50. Got the D mint mark above the Liberty Bell, and it's a 1963. Nice circulated coin, very pretty. And then, ooh, this one's got a little bit of a rainbow tone to it. You can see that when I tilt it in and out of the light. I like those coins with that rainbow tone. It's a 1951D. It's on both sides. 1951D silver quarter. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and grab a couple of these envelopes here. Let's grab that one there too. 1964 Kennedy $50. That is the first year of the Kennedys, and that's 90% silver, so that's awesome right there. And let's get a couple more of these. It says 68D Kennedy half. That envelope is empty, and this one has something in it. No, and it says 1972 Eisenhower Dollar. Awesome. Let's take a look at this. Once again, it's got a little bit of that cool toning to it. You can see especially around the rim. 1972 Eisenhower Dollar. Awesome. I always save these. Some people just turn them into the banks, but they're pretty scarce these days, and over the years they've just kind of built momentum as a collector's item. I always keep the Eisenhower dollars when I come across them. Alrighty, I'm going to take a break here a second and recharge my camera battery, and we're going to keep going. So moving on, let's grab a couple more of these pouches here. Man, there's a lot of them. Wow. But anyway, let's see, get right into the next one. It says to Susan B. Anthony, 1979. All right. Very nice. Definitely don't see the Susan B. Anthonys too often anymore. It's actually on my bucket list to find one of these metal detecting. They only made them for a few years. And you can find them with the metal detector. They definitely were dropped, but I've never been able to find one. So I'm hoping to find one of those one of these days. Wow, this one's full. What does this say here? 43 pennies, 1961 through 1977D. Since those are just sort of run-of-the-mill copper cents, I'm not going to sort through all of them now unless anything jumps out at me. But that appears, what did it say? Yeah, 61 through 77. You can see a 61 right on top. So it appears all these envelopes are accurate. So I'm not going to sift through those right now, but all the old copper cents. Definitely a good thing to save those, because there's more copper value in the copper cents than 1 cent. So definitely good to hang on to for a worst case scenario situation if you had to go into survival mode. And this one here says Nickels, 2 of 1940, 1946, 48, and 53. And that looks like what is there. Just some more of the old Jefferson Nickels. Ooh, I'm going to show this one though. That's got really sharp detail for an old one, 53D. A little bit of that is natural luster. It's kind of got that book toning to it also. So I'm not sure if these have just been in the envelopes that long, I guess since 1985. I wonder where they were before that. You'll have to let me know, Lynn, where, if you remember or know where some of these coins came from. I'd be fascinated to know. Let's see. Okay, that one says 1926S Standing Liberty Quarter, so I think that's the one that was in the bag, because that's empty. 1952D quarter, empty. 1902 Barber dime, that's empty. Okay, right here. What's the top of this envelope though? Says 40 EF, which is extremely fine, $30. Oh wow, so if that one's in this box, that's going to look pretty nice. It's not in here, so it probably slid out. Looking forward to seeing that one. The Barber coins with detail on them are amazing coins when they're not worn down. So we got a couple more envelopes there. 1943 Walking Liberty half, 54 quarter, 64 quarter, 62D quarter. This one says 1974 Kennedy half, and it's in there. There you go, 1974 Kennedy half dollar. That one says 1972D Kennedy half. Oh wow, that's a really nice one. This looks like this has some sort of major die clash going on. You can see how it's kind of bubbled up around Kennedy. I might have to take a closer look at that one later. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, and it's got a little bit of a weak strike around the bottom of the date there too. So that's definitely worth taking another look at there. It says 1965 dime. And there you go. Find a lot of these detecting the first year of the 1965 clad dimes, the year after they transitioned into silver. Find a lot of those in the ground. Oh, another pouch here that says Susan B. Anthony on it. Alright, we got a different date than the other ones though. It says 1980. Sweet. Nice coin. And another 1980. Alright. This says Bicentennial Quarter 2. And that's exactly what it is. Two of the 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial Quarters, and that one's really nice. Alright. This one says Kennedy half, 66. So if that's what's in here, it's going to be 40% silver, which is what I'm looking for while I'm coin roll hunting. I'll have to do another box of $half soon. 1966. Awesome. 40% silver. This says Kennedy half, 1971. And that's what that is. Just run-of-the-mill Kennedy $half. It says 2 nickels, 1976. Alright. This says Bicentennial half. A lot of people collect the 1976 coins because of the Bicentennial, even though the nickels are the same design. A lot of people still collect them. There you go, Bicentennial $half. Not sure if that's from being stored for a long time, but it has like a real kind of like granular looking surface on it. That's pretty interesting. And this is kind of a little bit of a mystery one because all it says on it is 2 dimes. So what kind of dimes? Oh boy. Okay, we're going to set that one aside for now. That one's sealed pretty tight. 1971 Kennedy half. Okay, that one's going to go. And that's what that is. Alright, so we got pennies, 1956 at 25. Wonder if that means if there was supposed to be 25 in them. There's definitely not that many. But let's see what we got in there. Yep, so it is 1956 pennies. Maybe the rest spilled out, but that's 4 of them there. Those are all wheatbacks. Alright, set those aside. Grab a couple of these loose coins here. It's a 1970D copper penny. 1980 uncirculated. 1958 silver quarter. Denver mint mark. And let's go ahead. You've all probably been getting on my nerves, getting on your nerves that I've been passing that up. There we have a 1921 Morgan dollar. Very nice. Man, that's small there. It looks like it's an S mint mark. Very cool. I dreamed for so long of finding these metal detecting, and I can't believe I found 2 of them over the last 2 years. And I gave the one back to the homeowner, so I still have one in my collection that I dug up. But 1921, 90% silver, Morgan dollar, awesome. Let's grab a couple of these other loose coins sitting over here. There looks to be some sort of, not sure if that's a coin book in there, I'll get that out in a second. Another uncirculated 1980, 1954 plain silver quarter. Got another Franklin half, 1952 Denver. And 1971 Copper Penny. A lot of those probably spilled out of that one bag. Let's get these couple envelopes here. Let's look at this stuff first. Alright, well, I'll go through these papers later. Maybe that's a list of some of what's in here. That would have been easier, but hey, you gotta explore how it comes out of the box. It is an old coin book. You can see in the bottom there a lot of copper pennies, and I even see a Canadian quarter down there. Alright, so what do you got here? United States coin prices, comprehensive current market prices for all U.S. coins. July 1981. So that coincides with the story of these coins being stored away since 1985. Alright, I'll definitely take a look through that. It's pretty neat. And this envelope, 63D Franklin, that one is empty. And you can see here, that's the 63D Franklin I got earlier. So it looks like a lot of these just slid out of the little envelopes here. 51D quarter, empty. And this feels like there's something in there. Oh, no, it's just two envelopes stuck together. There you go. Okay, yes, 1944 quarter, empty and worn. What does that say? Can't quite read that cursive there. Worn something eagle quarter. Flying Eagle Quarter, I think that says. Flying Eagle Quarter. I wonder what that reference is, but I guess we'll find out if it's still in here. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick out some of the obvious stuff here. And Flying Eagle Quarter probably meant Standing Liberty because it has the Flying Eagle on the back of it. That's what I'll assume. Man, that's a really worn one there with that rainbow tone, but we'll check that out in a second. There's some French coins in here. I actually found one of the, not one of these exact ones, but I found one of the French coins with the rooster on it here in the US, metal detecting not too long ago, so it's cool to see those. So I'm going to pull anything out of here I see that's not a copper penny. Oh, there's a barber dime. That's another French coin. Another silver quarter. That looks Canadian. And I'll take another look through here, but what's left in this box appears to be all, or mostly all, copper pennies. Alright, so let's take a look at these here. We have a really, really slick Standing Liberty quarter. A little bit of that rainbow tone on it. Wow, that one's been through a lot of different pockets and who knows what else. That is something else. Very, very, very worn. That's a cool coin. A lot of character to it. We got a 1960D silver quarter. Nice higher grade piece. And let's take a look at these French coins real quick. Line these up. So we got a 1973, 1966. It'd be 10 centimes on those, and this one is 20 centimes. 1968. And the way they kind of have that tone to them, they kind of almost look like gold coins. That's pretty cool. I like those. Like I said, I found one from the 1950s that had the rooster on it that I believe was it was either a 5 or 10 centimes. But it was actually slightly older than these ones. I found metal detecting a yard of a brick house built in the 1940s. So we got this barber dime. 1902. I think there was the bag that said 1902. So I'm not sure if somebody just tried to grade them and wanted to call this one EF, but that's only about a G coin. But awesome though, a barber dime. Very cool. And let's see, there's a 1976 Canadian cent, which Canadian cents are no longer made, so a lot of people are starting to hoard those, so I like to see those. Got a couple silver quarters there, 1963, 1952. We'll add them to the silver quarters. We got a 1968 Canadian quarter. Now, in 68 was split. Some of the quarters between, I believe, 1964 and 68, well, I think it's the 64 to 67 are all 50% silver. And the 68s, some are 50% silver and some are not. At a quick glance on this one, can't quite tell. I haven't looked at these 50% silver Canadian quarters in a while. This one may actually be the 50% silver variety. I'll have to double check on that one. I'm not certain. And then we got a Walking Liberty half dollar, 1943, no mint mark. And let's see, we got two silver Kennedy halves. Oh, and they're both 90 percenters. 1964, 90% silver. This one's got nice toning on it as well. All right, so apart from that, we got I can see another Canadian right here. Let's grab that one real quick. That's a 68, same year as the quarter. Set that over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort through these pennies here real quick, see if there's anything interesting. Then I'll set up the tripod and we'll open these rolls that were rolled a little over 10 years ago. Alright, so I went ahead and went through the pennies and I flipped these all over here so you can see that those are all copper memorials. And it does appear that this collection hasn't had anything added to it since the mid-80s, because I believe the newest coin I've seen so far are the 1981 copper pennies. So I haven't checked all the dates on those, but they are all copper memorials. And I laid a bunch of them out here, and they all range from 1959 to 1981. I didn't see any 1982s. I think that's where it stops. And the oldest one was, if there was one, 1959. There's a couple from the 60s, but most of them are from the 70s. And there's a lot of really shiny, uncirculated 81s and 1980s. And there was one wheat penny in that box as well, 1958. Also, I got this bag opened up that was giving us some trouble before that says 2 dimes on it, so we're going to go ahead and dump these out, and then we're going to go through those coin rolls. I opened the ends of them so we can dump them out. Now these, like I said, were rolled around 2006, so they're probably not going to be quite as old as everything that we just saw here. Let's go ahead and get these dimes out of there. And let's see what we got. Clad dimes, 1970. Oh, and 1983. So I believe 1983 is the newest coin now out of the entire collection here so far. All right, so we'll set those aside and go ahead and we'll start with the quarters. Wow, they have a lot of this kind of white corrosion on them. I bet these came in contact with some moisture for quite a while to get that on them. They all kind of have that same look to them. I'm just going to flip through them real quick, just to see if there are any silver coins in there. A lot of state quarters. The one had that Bicentennial on the end of it. All right, 1970 something on that one. Alright, no silver in that batch. They just look pretty standard quarters. I'm going to look through them and see what the newest coin is, just to see if we can get a exact date on if they were indeed rolled in 2006. Alright, roll number 2 down. These ones too have some of that corrosion on them as well. That one says Oklahoma 2008, so maybe it was done around then. Oh, there's a really crazy looking Bicentennial there. 1776 to 1976, 1980. 1969, It's the oldest one out of the roll so far, I believe. Oh, that must have been the one on the end, because I only see the one Bicentennial. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's go to the nickels next. Do the pennies last. Okay. There's really a high grade 1977. $64. Pretty high end 81. 64. Okay, nothing too old on the nickels. Once again, once I cut the camera, I'll go through and we'll see what the newest coins are so we can establish when these were, around the time these were rolled. Oh, look at that. Same as the other coins. These pennies have that kind of moisture damage to them. Let's get the light switched up here a little bit. There we go. And they don't last as well because a lot of these are zinc. Well, a lot of them are copper as well. It's a kind of a mix between the two. There's a 73D that looks like somebody cleaned. It's definitely polished. Yeah, that's probably the oldest one there, 68D. I don't see any wheat pennies. Alright, so let me go ahead and go through those and double check, and I'll get back to you in a second. Alright, so I went ahead back through the coins, and it looks like they were rolled sometime around 2008, because it ended up there were a couple 2007 pennies, and the newest coins of the batch were 2008 quarters. There were two of them, one from Hawaii and one from Oklahoma. So it appears that they were rolled right around 2008. And on this buffalo nickel, I will acid treat that, may post the video on my second channel. But if it catches the light just right, you can almost see the top of the digits. I really think that's a 1913D Type 2 with the flat mount, which would actually be a pretty decent coin. But to be 100% certain, I'm going to have to acid treat it. And if I do that, I'll probably post the video on my secondary channel, JD Uncensored. And if it's up by the time I post this video, I'll link to that in the comments and in the description as well. So once again, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you so much, Lynn, for sending this package. I really appreciate it. I have received some other requests of people wanting to send me letters and packages and interesting things that they found, just kind of like conversational pieces. And if you guys are interested in me starting up like viewer mail videos, just let me know, and maybe that's something that we'll start, and I can open up a P.O. box and showcase some of the letters and things that you guys want to send, if that's something you want to do. I've never really put my address or a P.O. box out there because I just never wanted to really, honestly, kind of felt awkward receiving packages, from people that I didn't know, and I just didn't want to, accept packages. I look at myself as extremely blessed, and if you don't send me anything, I just really appreciate you watching the videos. But if it's something you want me to do, for a little interaction, let me know. Maybe I'll open up a P.O. box so you guys can send me letters and stuff like that, and I can go through them on the videos. So anyhow, thanks everyone for watching. Take care, and happy treasure hunting.